Today on American Outlaw, the 10 guns that you are required to own as an American. The biggest sponsor of the channel is Transcend. I am legitimately 50 pounds down. I'm feeling the best of my life. I'm able to get up, do the things I've always wanted to do, get back out there, be athletic. I'm in the gym 5 days a week. I've got my diet down. Transcend truly helps you with every piece of that. They've got all of the healing peptides that go inside of you that it's just like I feel like a superhuman. Go to the link below, check out Transcend, tell them I sent you. I don't know who's making the requirement. I am, but I just feel like if you are an American, you have the ability to have whatever guns you want. These are the 10 where everybody should literally begin their collection, run on and say, I'm gonna own these because they are special. They might not be special to you, but they're special to somebody. So the first gun is a Glock. Dudes, like at this point in time, you know, if you don't have a Glock, you don't even have a gun. So you absolutely need a Glock. I don't care which Glock you have. This one in particular is a Gen 5 Glock 34 with an SRO on it. I love it. It is one of my favorite pistols that I own. I actually own 4 of them, right? It's nice. It's got Zev triggers inside of them. They're fast, they point beautiful, but you need a Glock. If you had to say which Glock, I would say the Glock 19 is a must because it does everything you need. It conceals well, and it's a big enough gun to fight with. But guacamole is important. And the number 2 gun is the old pump shotgun. This one happens to be a Mossberg. Yours doesn't have to be a Mossberg. Remington makes a good one. Winchester makes a good one. But these old pumps are they're classic, they're timeless, they're pretty amazing. And this gives you, I don't know, that option to run slug changeovers. You can get multiple barrels so you can hunt with this thing. You cannot wear these out, and they are great heirloom pieces, hunting, playing around. There's nothing funner to shoot than a shotgun. The best thing about a pump shotgun, you walk in and you hear this. If you're the good guy, you're like, I'm good, sucker, let's get some. If you're the bad guy, you're like, oh. A pump shotgun should be a part of everyone's collection. Mossberg or Remington are my recommendation, and I really like the old wood stocks because they're not like the new cheap wood. Like, this thing is solid. You can just drop it, you can beat on it, you can scratch it. Get a pump shotgun. The number 3 gun, not in any particular order, is I'll be your Huckleberry. Or if you're a little crafty, it's I got 2 guns, one for each of you. Yes, yes, yes. If you don't have the old Cowboy 6-shooter, what do you have? These things are just important. You just got to get with. And I got these short stroked, so they're Cowboy action pistols. They're fast. You can just woo. You can do some quick draw with it. Whatever you need to do, whatever your heart desires, you need to be able to get that old West inside of you because this is America. The number 4 gun that you must have is the gun that is actually America's rifle. This is the gun that actually made America. The Revolutionary War, the Civil War. This one is the Lancaster design. You know something that's pretty cool about this gun? The Hart family came up with this design, and Wally Hart is a 5th generation gunsmith. I think he's up in his 90s now. I begged him for years to make one of these. This is art, it's functional art, but it's literally their family history line since the Revolutionary War. And one of the cool things is, literally this came out of a tree on his property. He handmade all of this, he rifled the barrel. He wrote his name in here, Wally Hart. It's a true old school flintlock that is very accurate. I do shoot it. I don't shoot it a lot, but I do shoot it. I need to try to shoot a deer with it, but this is where we got this stance when you see people shooting, is because the way that they shot these was like this. And you had to way open your eye like this when you're shooting because this makes a big spark. And by the time you're done, you're almost closing it. But when you see a rifleman shooting like this, we got it from the old Lancaster or any type of flintlock rifle. But this is America's rifle. This is how we won the War of 1812. This is how we won the French and Indian War. This is the Alamo. This is America's rifle. The cool thing I just learned, though, is that my family, the John Peter Sprinkle, 3 brothers, came over here, and they went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and they fought in the War of 1812, so they likely had one of these rifles, which is freaking cool. Number 5 is a Ruger 1022. Listen, if you don't have a Ruger 1022, you're wrong. You're just wrong. I have had this for a long time. I don't even know how long. I have multiple of them, but my brothers got me this for Christmas one year, I think in like 2007. I love this thing. It still shoots good, even with this old BSA Sweet 22 scope on there. I trained my kids how to shoot with this thing. I'm sure one day when I have grandkids, I'll teach them how to shoot with it, but there's nothing better than an old Ruger 1022. Like, when I say 22 long rifle, I legitimately mean Ruger 1022. Now, I know that this is not what you were expecting from American Outlaw. You were expecting some of my amazing blow 'em up, shoot 'em up, explosive grenade launcher, amazing guns. So these are just some like badass, historical, awesome. I love these. I want to have these. But let's start with some real firepower. The gun that helped to make us free, the M1 Garand. Yes, it will give you Garand thumb. And there's a channel that has been very big on somebody sticking their thumb in here and slamming the bolt shut, you know, old Mike Jones. But the M1 Garand, it took me a long time to get one. I got this one from my buddy, and it is a legit, came back from war, CMP put together, and I really like them. Still very accurate, shoots a 30-06, you still get that ping, and I think this is kind of the gun that saved America. And so maybe it didn't make America, it saved America, and it set the tone for what we were gonna be. So I think preserving history, you're wrong if you don't have an M1 Garand and you call yourself a gun guy. Number 7, are you in heaven? The 1911. You know, when I was growing up, we just called this the 45. Like if somebody said, bring me the 45, you knew it was a Colt in 1911. You knew, that was it, that was the only option. So let's go back to just calling it the 45. Don't, you know, if it's 45, it's a 1911. Listen, if you don't have one of these, are you truly American? I just want to know, I just want you to dig deep down in the bottom of your soul and say, if I don't have a 1911, and it won World War II, along with the M1 Garand, and it won World War I, and it was a part of Vietnam, and it was even a part of GWAT, can I truly call myself an American without a 1911? If your answer to that is yes, you're wrong. If your answer to that is no, I must have one, you, my friend, are an American outlaw, and you're one of the last of them. Number 8, you need an old school revolver. Which one do you pick? I don't know. This classic 357 Colt Python, yes, it is Rick Grimes' gun. Carl! This is the one. It is the gun. I love this gun. This was my father's gun. You know, in the 70s when he picked this up, he got it for $250 from Gibson's. Can you believe that? And I have just ran this thing through. Broke the firing pin when I was a kid. I have just shot and shot and shot this. My buddy's dad had like 30,000 38 special wad cutter rounds and 158 grain lead slugs. And dudes, I'm deaf because of this gun. But I'm telling you, I don't know if I could do it now because pythons beat themselves to death. And so this one's just a little out of timing. It still is in timing, but I'm a little, like, I try not to shoot it. I bring people out, and if you're a friend of the family or something, I'll let you run a cylinder through it. But this is a special gun. My grandfather handed me down one that's blued. So my dad had the nickel, he had the blued. I am getting the brushed stainless, and then I'll probably put these in a shadow box. But Colt Python is just like king of revolvers. Everybody knows them, everybody loves them. They, back in the day, had the very best single action trigger there was. But you cannot literally leave out the old Smith & Wesson, especially a Lou Horton. I just love these old Lou Hortons because they just fit my hands so freaking good. And one thing for sure, they are, Smith & Wesson is, when it comes to like gripping and, they're the fastest double action. You can hear this on the Colt. That's as fast as I can pull a Colt. And I don't know, you can just get it on the Smith. So having a Smith & Wesson, especially a 686 or a Smith & Wesson Model 19, I think maybe a Smith & Wesson Model 19 if you're picking one, but to have an old school revolver is important. They're not out of date. You're fine. You can literally defend your life with one of these. Number 9 is the Mark 18 or an AR-15, but specifically the Mark 18. Why? The Mark 18 is freaking iconic, man. It is truly America's GWAT gun. Global War on Terror, I don't even care. This is the do-it-all, get-her-all done, and the perfection of a combat weapon. You know, this thing right here fought the entire global war on terror in this configuration. They're still issued in some units today, especially to the Navy SEALs, but the new Ergies, problems. Their handguards are bending, and so if you're like, hey, show me the gun that has literally been through combat, to hell and back, it's this. It's the Mark 18 with the Daniel Defense rail, the Insight Light, the Surefire can, a UHP5, EOTech or Aimpoint, and this is it right here, guys. This is it. Like, if your life is on the line, a Mark 18 is it. So you need an AR-15 for sure. It's America's gun, but the Mark 18 is iconic America's gun. All right, guys, number 10, but really there's 11, so I'm gonna throw in a bonus here. Stick around for just a second, but it is the Remington Model 700. So this one is a Remington Model 700 in 270, and it is the BDL. I have multiple Remington 700s. When I was growing up, this was the gold standard of guns. Now we have great guns out there, Bagara, Tika, like we have just some amazing bolt guns out there. But when you wanted the best, when I was growing up and coming up, it was the Remington 700. And I still love them today. They are the gold standard. You need a Remington 700. You can pick them up pretty cheap now, and they'll still get the job done as good as anything else. And you'll have that iconic American classic hunter outdoorsman rifle. Wait, 2 more bonuses. You guys thought I was gonna leave out the Winchester Model 70? No, sir. The Winchester Model 70 set the standard. It is amazing. And so this one right here is a 257 Bob, and it's beautiful. I have literally like a coyote's beware with the old 257 Roberts, 257 Bob. This was your granddad's gun. This is the featherweight. They're beautiful. I told you there was 1 bonus, but there's actually 2. Last but certainly not least is a true spec'd out 1-to-1 clone of a Mark 12 in your configuration. It could be a Mark 12 Mod 0, a Mark 12 Mod 1. It could be the Seal Recce rifle, or it could be the Mod H, the Steve Holland rifle, which is my favorite variant. And here it is before you now. This is a 1-to-1 perfect clone of a Mark 12 Mod H. The correct can, the old school rail from PRI. This is a true loophole scope from the time period. Dudes, no expense was spared on a clone, and you truly understand how much you love a gun when you have a clone. Somebody just said, why didn't Outlaw throw an AK in there? And here's why. It's not America's gun, homie. This is from Mother Russia, the Soviet Union, from China. So no, can I run an AK? Sure, man, I can make it sing like a top. I love them. But do I consider it a gun that every American should own? Hell no, because every gun I showed you is an American gun. Because you are the next American outlaw.